Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am going to represent in this video how am I usually taking photos of the International Space Station. I am going to use my sweet 10-inch Dobsonian telescope. It's a Dobsonian style, very easy to use. What I'm going to do in this video is I will show you how am I doing the preparations for the International Space Station photography, and you will see. Actually, I'm just gonna record the whole thing, and hopefully you're gonna get some inspiration how I'm doing it, and maybe you will try it one day. So let's get started. Skywatcher 250 flex tube Dobsonian telescope. So this is just a tube with two mirrors in it, as you can see, and the reason why Dobsonian scopes are the best is because when I loosen the screws, then you will see I can just grab it in here. That's why I love this particular telescope, because it has two of these knobs and I can just grab it, and whenever I'm gonna start imaging, this is where I put the Telrad, and I'm just gonna basically so I grab the scope in here with one hand, and I grab with this little knob here, and then I can just move it really nicely, and when it's a little bit lower I can just lean onto the scope as well and use my body weight to really smoothly actually tracking the ISS or any satellite basically. So the tricky one, this is gonna be almost 90 degrees, I think 86 degrees, so it means that it's gonna go right overhead, and it's very tricky because it means that it's gonna come from this direction, from the west, and as I'm gonna follow it, there will be a point. Even this scope I need to turn around, because you hear I can't just point it even more towards that direction, so I just gonna quickly turn it around and just keep on following the ISS. Whatever direction is it going to proceed, which is most likely east. We know that for sure. Okay, let's do the bits and bobs. So, collimation phase. I'm using a laser collimator. Not the best tool, I need to improve on that. But at the moment it does a perfect job. So first I've done the secondary mirror, and now I'm readjusting the primary mirror. Sometimes this is a time-consuming procedure. I really recommend you to give yourself enough time. Usually that's one of the mistakes that we all make, is that simply we're not allowing ourselves enough time to prepare. So we're just gonna simply run out of time, because there's a list of things to do, and if you fail to do any of those, then it's just gonna be a failed attempt. Okay, collimation seems absolutely good. So once I've done that bit, now I'm gonna remove the collimator, and then I'm gonna start inserting the camera with the laptop, and then slowly just doing the first test runs. Okay, now Telrad time. This is some concentric circles are projected onto this glass plate, and it's so far the best tool I could use. So it still works, although I'm looking for some other solution really, because there are some. The problem with this is that once you look from a distance, it's not always projecting things to the same way. So those concentric circles, the position on the glass plate is changing as you move your head. So you need to find one angle you're looking at it. So what I'm doing is, if this is the square where the concentric circles are, I try to look the way that it's closer to one edge. So I know exactly that if I look the way that the concentric circles, let's say closer to the left side of this little plate, then I know that that's the angle I did set previously. So that's a good way of doing it, maybe. Okay, now the camera is inserted, and now we're gonna do, by the way, it's actually really nice conditions tonight. I've been out in the past few days and I have to say that now it's absolutely brilliant conditions, which is rare in London, I have to say. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I am going to turn on the laptop. I'm gonna start up Fire Capture, that's the software I am using, and I will try to see if my setup from yesterday is still working, because yesterday I've been doing another ISS photography and yeah, it worked. So I'm gonna just double check if my settings from yesterday still applicable and how much the Telrad misaligned itself, if I can say that. So I start up Fire Capture and let me see, I just turn on the Telrad. I'm gonna point it at, I think it's one of the Gemini star, Pollux, or, oh, I forgot the other one. Okay, I can see, okay, we're good. So my camera is a ZWO 224MC color camera. I just love ISS in color. So I know mono cameras do more justice, but I love color ISS. So I don't know what to say about that. I would love to use a color camera which has global shutter, because that's so much more beneficial for what we do. We need a really good frame rate and also good sensitivity. Okay, my settings from yesterday is still pretty valid. I can already see the donut and I'm just focusing now. Yes, okay, we're gonna be, okay, I don't need much to do. I'm about 20 minutes away from the ISS pass. So if I look through, I have to say it's almost perfect, which is rare, because usually it is misaligning itself every now and then. And I'm almost ready to go, but I need to use a Bahtinov mask first, because I wanna have the best possible focus. So I learned how to focus on a star, but we don't take risks. You know, if you have a tool that will do so much better job, why not using it? And it's a cheap tool. So let me show you the Bahtinov mask. All right, so this is a Bahtinov mask. You can do a cutout yourself if you're patient enough and if you have good artistic skills, but you can buy one. It's plastic, it's pretty flexible. And what we do is I'm just placing it, sorry for the ambient noise, London is a loud city. So I'm just putting it in front of the scope. I am moving the scope so that I can see a star, and then I am going to set a focus. I don't know, is it possible that my focus is still perfect? I mean, seriously, it does not happen often, I have to say. Okay, it looks like, so I'm gonna record now. I'm gonna record what I'm seeing, and then you can see exactly what a good Bahtinov mask alignment is. So you must be seeing it now in the screen, and this is what a good Bahtinov mask setting most likely looks like. So it's a beautiful pattern with the spikes, and it looks like it is relatively good. I mean, it's always could be better, but yeah. Don't forget to remove the Bahtinov mask. Happened to me in the past. You're gonna have a checkered ISS then. And basically now we are ready to go. I just turn off the Telrad for now, and I just need to wait for the time to come. It's about 16 minutes away. So I'm just gonna wait, and I will come back when the action starts. So before the ISS pass occurs, let me just tell you that I found this hobby a few years ago and I love it. I really do love it. I dedicated a whole website to it called spacestationguys.com. You can even buy merch if you want, because I think it's a beautiful hobby. We don't know how long the ISS is gonna be up and running, that beautiful space laboratory. But until it's up there, I encourage you, really everybody who can visually observe, go out, take photos, even long exposure shots with low magnification, or if you happen to have telescopes, give it a try. It's fantastic. There are people out there, you know, the top of our species, basically just doing incredible science. So make sure you go out and observe the International Space Station. Okay, let's begin. All right, this is all set. I can already see the ISS rising. It's still far away. So what I'm doing, I made sure Bahtinov mask is off. I did all the settings properly. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start recording in a second. And I'm gonna move the scope that direction, but I'm not gonna start the actual imaging until the ISS actually reaches about 30-40 degrees above the horizon. So, but it's very orangey, it's just rising, and hopefully in a sec it will rise high enough. I'm just gonna straight on recording the whole thing. So I really want you to have the feel that what's the preparation and when exactly I do start recording with the camera. Okay, we're still rising. It's still low. It is still very low, but it's coming. Very orangey in terms of color. So basically the solar panels give this very orange color. If it's sun after sunset just right now, usually it's orange on the rise, and if it's before sunrise, then it's usually towards the end of the pass is when it's more sort of having this orange hue. Okay, so now it's getting higher and higher. It's gonna be tricky, but I have to say the conditions are really good. I can see so many stars compared to what I've seen yesterday. Okay, now the ISS is really gaining brightness. So what I'm doing, okay, everything is good, and I'm gonna start the recording because it's about 30-40 degrees above the horizon. So I start recording, I loosen the screws, I turn on the Telrad because I forgot that. Okay, it's not too bright, and there we go. I am going to just trying to keep the ISS basically in my field of view. Okay, still nicely rising, but this is the tricky part because it's getting higher and higher in the sky. It's gaining some traction, and it's becoming harder and harder to keep it in my field of view. Okay, now it's becoming really high in the sky. Okay, this is where usually I start struggling. And usually now I'm just gonna turn it around. Okay, I didn't put the nice. Yeah, now I'm losing a lot of valuable time, but that's fine. I'm back on track. Beautiful pass. I really hope I'm gonna capture quite a few good frames. It is tiring, I have to say. Okay, ISS well past the highest point, and now it's coming down slowly. Awesome, beautiful. And now it slowly starts fading away. Still bright though. Okay, this is usually how, that's far oh Jesus. It's always exhausting, I have to say. Oh, and I can still see it. It's still right there. Okay, that was an exhausting one again. It's always exhausting. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go up and I'm going to process these frames, and I will include it into this video. So just sit tight and I'll show you what I captured. It might be disastrous, I don't know, we will find out. Stay with me. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you liked the short video, and I hope you got some inspiration from this video as well. So please follow what I'm doing if you're excited. Please check out my work. I have tons of stuff to share on this YouTube channel, but I have the website, spacestationguys.com. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram under the same Space Station Guys name. So you will find me all over the internet. And you can even fund me on Patreon if you like what I'm doing. So I'm gonna have more time maybe doing this type of videos. So please follow me and let's share this beautiful hobby. Thank you. Take care.